Scientists have gathered at the University of Sussex today for the UK's first ever summit on how best to protect our undersea kelp forests. Kelp once covered huge swathes of the seabed off the Sussex coast, but by 2019, experts estimated that 96% had been destroyed. Well, Oliver Whitfield-Miocic is on the seafront in Shoreham for us. Oliver, just remind us why conservationists are so concerned about kelp.
Natalie, it's because kelp plays an important dual role both beneath and above the surface of the water. For humans, acting as a natural carbon sinkhole, absorbing emissions and then ultimately burying them deep on the ocean floor. But in the sea, kelp provides a vital habitat for thousands of organisms and aquatic life. So much more than just seaweed. Kelp forests are a vital part of a healthy ocean, supporting life beneath the waves. And the waters off the Sussex coast were once full of thick, long, greeny-brown strands of algae.
The kelp forests in Sussex were huge. They covered from somewhere near Shoreham over to Selsey. And we have reports from, anecdotal reports from fishers saying things like, in the 80s, you had to row your boat off the beach because the kelp was so thick you couldn't possibly get an outboard motor in the water.
However, the Great Storm of 1987, along with damaging fishing methods, led to 96% of this vital habitat being lost. But there are signs that the tide may be turning. 4 years after a wide exclusion zone came into force, banning trawlers that stir up the sea floor.
Things like mussel beds are coming back and other species of fish, and the mussel beds will actually create that foundation on which the kelp can settle and grow. So we're very, very optimistic that this is the start of something really exciting and that we'll see nature take the lead in its own recovery.
There's still a long way to go though, with researchers warning it could take at least a decade before meaningful growth is seen. Scientists are sharing their findings at the first National Kelp Summit being held at the University of Sussex.
We have glimmers of hope. So the areas of kelp that we do have are reported as healthy, which is absolutely fantastic. And we're seeing changes on the seabed. These are ecosystem changes. We're not seeing any great new kelp forests yet, but it's really early days in ecological terms.
40 years ago, kelp is estimated to have covered 177 square kilometres of the local coast, roughly the same as an area 20,000 football pitches wide. This video from November shows newly established seaweed growing, which ecologists hope will spread once again. Natalie, there is a caveat though, and that is that the sea conditions have got to stay roughly the same as what they are now or improve in the coming years, because if there's too much disturbance of the sediment on the bottom of the ocean floor, or if water temperatures increase with man-made climate change, then it's unlikely that the conditions are going to be there for the kelp to grow.
Oliver, thank you very much. Apologies for some of the sound quality there. We could just about hear what he was saying there, couldn't we? Now, it